Hey, welcome to Graphic Policy Television, GPTV. I'm Brett. In my hands is the Ballad of Gordon Barleycorn #1 from Black Caravan and Scout Comics. It's written by Colin McHugh and Duncan Sligh, illustrated by McHugh, covered by Sean Mansfield, lettering by Jacob Stalvey. Alright, so Black Caravan is kind of the Vertigo-ish imprint for Scout. More mature comics, a little bit more out there, sci-fi, horror, stuff like that. Definitely, I would say, much more adult-oriented. And this one's about this guy named Gordon Barleycorn. And Gordon owes a lot of money for surgery, and he's got a debt collector coming after him for repayment on behalf of, it seems like, a church. His choice is to, of course, pay it off or go into slavery. It's an interesting comic. When I read the concept, I was like, oh, this is going to be awesome. But reading it, I'm kind of, it kind of feels like it's trying to be the subversive, like, indie comics, but doesn't really ever get to the point that it feels really subversive. It has a look of, like, the Freak Brothers. I'm sure it's kind of trying to go for that, like, everything coming out of Austin era of indie comics. And it just doesn't, I don't think it quite lands it. It never quite has the satirical punch that I think it wants. And it never quite has the weirdness that it's going for. So this is a world where there's, like, all sorts of weird creatures and beings, and Gordon is a human being. He's a kind of a failed musician. His initial idea is to do a puppet show to try to raise the money, but, like, the puppet show itself doesn't really ever quite feel very subversive. It feels very much like that person that thinks they're, like, that you dealt with in college that, smokes some pot and then goes off about, the system and damn the man, but just spouts off kind of words and never really connects the dots or makes a point. And then, like, it's just, I don't know, it didn't quite click for me. It really didn't click for me. Like, I'm sure there's definitely an audience for it that's gonna love it, but for me, there's a lot of potential there of doing something really interesting and satirical about medical debt and, and a church coming after you, and it never quite really feels like it commits and nails that down. The art is, as I said, like, very Freak Brothers to me. It's interesting art. Like, I don't quite know what to exactly expect. Like, it never really also makes a reason of, like, why we need all these weird aliens and creatures, and it's a world that's never quite explained. Like, it'd be one thing if, like, Gordon was high all the time and this is how he viewed the world, but it's clearly not the case, and this is just, like, a really weird world, and it never really explains what's up. You just kind of go with it. So, for me, it's a bit of a miss. Black Caravan's done some really cool stuff, but this one, it just doesn't quite click for me. But if you want it, you can get it. It's out now in comic shops. We've got a link beneath this video. Put in your zip code, tell the comic shops near you. No shop, no problem. We do have some links where you can purchase your own. There'll be affiliate links, most likely. So we do get a small percentage by doing that. You'll support our site, so thank you. And speaking of support, just watching our videos support us, so thank you for that. If you're into comics, you can check us out every single day at graphicpolicy.com. We're on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Tumblr, Instagram, and TikTok, all at Graphic Policy, keeping it nice and consistent. Until next time, keep reading those comics, and keep it geeky. Hey, thanks for watching the previous video from Graphic Policy Television. Just by watching, you help support our site. Thank you so much. Now, if you're watching these videos, you probably care about geeky things like movies, television, comic books, toys, games, video games, you name it. You can go and subscribe right now to our YouTube channel to stay in touch and catch all the new videos, or check out our website at graphicpolicy.com. There's a nice link on this end of the video. But as always, thank you for watching. Keep on rocking and keep it geeky.